DaBaby is not worried the least bit about the self-defense shooting that went down in 2018 in Walmart. Of course, the story that he got into a fight with someone, another person jumped in, got involved, and that person, he says, had a gun. So he pulled out a gun and shot that person, and he died. He died. Well, recently, surveillance video surfaced of that incident, and a lot of people were calling for a new investigation. In fact, the family of the man who was killed said that they want a new investigation. They don't feel like it was self-defense. Well, DaBaby's lawyers say there's nothing to be worried about here as far as he's concerned, because that surveillance video was seen by the police, it was reviewed by the prosecutors, and they still arrived at the conclusion that this was a self-defense.
And they didn't charge him. They charged him for a misdemeanor on something that...
On the possession of an unregistered gun.
But the actual homicide, they said it was self-defense. It was justified.
Right.
Hey, you guys, I mean, like, this story, it kind of goes without saying that there's really nothing to worry about. Like, there was no chance DaBaby was going to be recharged with anything. That wasn't the point of the Rolling Stone article. It was, I mean, look, I'm not a fan of DaBaby. I don't really like the guy. I think He's got problems, as we've documented many times here, but in this particular instance, I would argue that this Rolling Stone story was a bit of a hit piece. They dug up the surveillance video, and I read their story, and it's misleading in the sense because they say that this video was like not played in court, making it seem like it wasn't actually part of the evidence that the prosecutors had. They obviously did. I mean, it goes without saying that the cops had this video, they saw the full video. What Rolling Stone played is just a portion what they wanted you to see. And yes, it looks like DaBaby charges at the guy who was not the person who ended up dying. And the guy who ended up dying, 19-year-old Jalen Craig, is on the outskirts kind of watching it. And there's a couple instances, if you zoom in, it clearly shows him brandishing a gun. He pulls it out of his waistband. You can see it clear as day. And yeah, I mean, look,
and there were other circumstances around it.
It's unfortunate that he died, and I'm sure the family is grieving and very upset. That again goes without saying. But yeah, I mean, on a legal standard, there's a reason DaBaby wasn't charged with homicide or murder or manslaughter.
And Fabian, help me on this. If the point of the story was they didn't play it in court, why not? Why not is because he wasn't charged with the homicide.
He wasn't in court. He wasn't charged.
He wasn't charged with it.
Never got to that point.
I would argue that Rolling Stone did this story to essentially sway more public opinion about DaBaby. He's been in the news a lot lately for a lot of different incidents.
And mostly bad.
Mostly bad. And this is just them kind of saying, oh, here's one more thing. Look at the 2018 thing, because we've heard about the 2018 story. A lot of people didn't really know about it. This is before he was really famous. And yeah, it's not a great video because, again, somebody did in fact die. That's a tragedy. But legally speaking, he's fine, and there's no chance of this being reopened. And if the family felt this strongly about it, they would have sued him for wrongful death. They have not done that. It's because they know that DaBaby and his lawyers are going to pick this apart and prove, like, yeah, it was self-defense. They have no case here.
So there's another video of DaBaby, which is much more lighthearted that people are talking about. A video he posted at his home where he's just shooting some hoops, playing around with his dogs. They're making fun of his super short shorts. But interesting, even in a lighthearted video of DaBaby, people did notice that as he's out and playing with his dogs, his gun was right there on the table, always nearby.
I didn't see that. So you're right.
Yeah, always make sure that he's got his weapon nearby.
This is problematic.
Hi, it's Ron Booker from Vegas. My opinion on DaBaby is, yes, he was justified in what he did. I urge my family members to be gun owners as well, to protect themselves, and he's also a target. So with the pandemic making mask mandate easier for robbers to rob people, I think he's fully justified. And looking at the video, yeah, that's self-protection. That's active self-protection. And, you know, when you have young children there in that aspect, you have to have that concern as well. And then with the trespassing part at his house, yeah, it's merely a propaganda tool used by the magazine or you know, the news media to instigate, or not instigate, but to bring up bad promotion about DaBaby when all he was doing was protecting himself. He's a target.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said, especially with the most recent one, the trespassing incident you referred to. So.